evening, ladies and gentlemen. And the winner is. Ek wil dit so graag doen. But I have the absolute privilege to introduce to you tonight Karien de Waal, the founder of Join Bands, Not Gangs. Now, I am in the music industry, and I need to tell you a little bit about Karien. She's one of the top bassists in South Africa. Bass player, you'd think that's only a man. Karien is one of the top bassists in South Africa. Have you seen a Philharmonic orchestra? There's a lot of them, all those instruments, and Mozart and Bach and all these people. They wrote the scores for this. Karien can also do that. If you put a Philharmonic in front of her, she can write every note of music for every instrument that is on that stage. And yet, this beautiful girl chose to do something else. Because you see, I've known her for 6 years now, and I saw another passion, and that is people. If she can tell somebody that Jesus loves them, and if she can tell them that there's a better way, and another thing to do, and that there's a dream that they can reach, then Karien is a happy chappy. So she chose music as a tool to reach these people. Now also, if you know Karien, you will know that she is not afraid. And she chose the gangs of the Cape Flats to do this. I mean, I once phoned her and I said, "Where are you going now?" And she said, "No, it's the 28th. They've got a birthday today. Their leader is having a birthday. I'm taking him a cake." And I was like, "Karien, you can't do that." And she said, "No, man, I'm going to have cake and tea with them. And then we're going to make some music." And that's just who Karien is. So, ladies and gentlemen, she's doing something huge in the Cape Flats, and she has a dream. 1 million instruments in the hands of 1 million children. And keep them from joining the gangs. So, Karien, all over to you, and proud to be part of your journey.
Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is Karien de Waal. And to tell you about our solution, I think it's important to tell you a little bit about the problem. Now, everybody knows about gangs in Cape Town, but really, gangsterism is an industry, and they sell drugs. So a gangster is a drug dealer. And we have estimates of about 100,000 drug dealers or gangsters in Cape Town alone. So it's a massive problem. And it works like a franchise. There's 3 numbers, and then there's street gangs, and they fall under the numbers. So our solution is we're going to be a head-on alternative to joining a gang. So you can join the 26, the 27, the 28, or join Bands Not Gangs. And so we're literally going to be an organization that works with the gangs, and also the gangsters are going for the preteens. We're also going for the preteens. So we're working with gangsters, and we're doing prevention work. So our vision is 1 million instruments to change 1 million lives. I don't think it's impossible. There's so much surplus instruments all over the world, in the developed world. So even if you took one family in every 300 in the US, they'll definitely have a guitar. If we can find a way to get that in, that's 1 million instruments. So the starting point is I studied music. I really wanted to be a very serious composer. I went to Berklee, and when I was there, the Lord dropped into my spirit and said, "Join Bands Not Gangs, 1 million instruments. And if you go back to Cape Town or South Africa, that's what I want you to do." And so I knew, even though I kind of wanted to stay, I knew my calling was here. And so in 2018, it was Mandela's 100-year centenary, and we thought, let's launch this thing with the song. And so we just motored. In the first 6 months, all of this happened. We kicked off with the song. We were featured on national news. Then we started our first song. We were featured on national news again. Our first school, sorry. And then the gang actually saw us on TV, and they said, "Hey, ons het vir Karien op TV gesien. When's she coming to teach us?" And so we started a week after we started our first high school program. We started with our first gang. Within 2 months, we had our first gig. It was with the Philharmonic. I did my first speech. We got our first scholarship. So this happened in 5.5 months. It was like a roller coaster. And within 20 months, we're now at the 20-month mark. So ons stap nog nie eers nie, you know. We are, but we're running. We are working with 3 gangs in our neighborhood. All the enemies, they've killed about 18 of each other between them, but we're working with all 3 of them. We have a prototype school. We teach 6 days a week. That's the Blue House. We launched programs in 2 high schools, and we partnered with 2 NGOs. So the way forward is we have a 3-year plan, 2020 to 2022, and then a beyond plan, 2023. And Julita, that's where we're going to like tour the world. Eh? So the way forward, we have a very simple strategy, and we're going to replicate the strategy. Okay. Oh, wow, I've got some spare time. This is amazing. So the whole thing runs like this. we get instruments from a donor, we give it to recipients, and from there, let's say that's a school, we help them to launch or run their programs. The best students the cream starts to rise to the top. We eventually want to put them in a show band, which will give us more media exposure, which will give us more donors. So at the heart of this circle, we have storytelling or content creation. So we want to have a media team that's going to basically film this whole process, because the stories that are coming out is crazy. I mean, it's beautiful stories. Even if you follow one guitar, where does the guitar end up? Or you teach one kid, where is the kid going to end up? So we really want to capture all of these stories. Okay, so in our company, with all my extensive business background, I've realized that there's 6 areas that we need to cover. We need to get instruments in. We need to know where to give the instruments out. We want to have a curriculum. We want to run our prototype school so we can actually prove that it works. We're going to pursue traditional media and then viral campaigns via YouTube. So instruments in. Our plan is to take, and this is 2020, to do 2 prototype neighborhoods, Paarl and Durbanville, and saturate them with our message. Every church, every school, and every music store, and we want to decide on 1 month. Let's say September is Music Month. We tell everybody in September, please can you promote our cause in your church or in your school for 4 weeks, and then we want to see if we follow this model of saturation, how many instruments can we actually get out of one neighborhood at a time, and then we'll start to replicate this in 2021 and so forth. So this year we're still small, but the circle means we need staff. So instruments out, we're going to follow 2 strategies. We're going to try to, again, saturate one neighborhood at a time. So in Scottsdene, we want to actually see how much we can saturate in that one area, and we're also going to partner with other NGOs. That's also, like everybody's mentioned, it's amazing to partner with people that have similar hearts and visions working on the ground, and that's how we're also going to increase our reach. We want to roll out a curriculum and do start development this year. Because maybe in Cape Town there's good teachers, but if you get to the rest or other places, maybe they don't have such curriculums that they can teach. So we want to develop a proudly South African curriculum to accompany a standard jazz and a rock curriculum that we can roll out. And now this is the 28th at the beginning when we were just starting. And we want to have a prototype school where we can test out all our theories, and it's exploding. Like, we've been running 1 month. We teach, like I said, 6 days a week. It's exploding. And to run it the whole year, it's going to be 150,000 rands. Okay, so the 6th area, skip traditional media, go to the viral campaign. We want to make 3 albums over the next 3 years, and each album has 10 tracks. Each track we want to have a music video, and each music video and track we want to have a behind-the-scenes documentary. So this is our content. We want to do this, and over the next 3 years, roll out basically a music video with a back docky and a radio song once a month, so that we have continually new content. And we want to do this by doing a tour, which we estimated will cost us around 200,000 this year. Doing a tour all the way from Scottsdene through to George. We're going to identify 10 cool places to go to. We've already actually partnered with these people, and we're going to go record their local bands so everybody can see really authentically what's happening on the ground. Eventually, we want to take our cream band, and we want to go like across the world and ask people while we're doing our concerts, can you crowdfund while we're doing the concert? And then everybody's, yay, we crowdfunded $5,000 or whatever at the end of the concert. And then we just order new instruments here. So it's a plan that's going to work. So here's the ask. We're asking for R1 million. We want our school, please, there's a prototype school. It has to run. So that's my first expense. Staff is last, Julita. I'm just kidding. So, and then the albums and the content and everything. So if you wanted to get more detail on what we need R1 million to make our prototypes work this year. Yeah, thank you so much for the curriculum and everything. Okay, and if you want to check us out, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. I actually said thank you to the video people that brought back the ask, but okay. Thank you to all of you, and thank you to IPIC. Thank you, Rian, for this honor and privilege to be here. So appreciate it. Thank you.
From bands, not gangs. Let's quickly ask the hard questions.
Okay.
So we're speaking about 1 million instruments, 1 million musicians for the future. At the moment, you are the only staff member. You are bands, not gangs. Is
Yeah.
that right?
I'm the only staff member that's trying to keep it together, and then Yulita is helping me keep my mind clear. And then we have the family, Nicoline and Philip Botha, or Nicoline actually running it on the ground. So we're 2 people, and Yulita offering admin support, basically.
So we actually are in need of staff.
Yeah, we need money. Yeah, money to have staff. It's been 2 years.
So
About
would it be
20 months.
voluntarily, or would you like to pay your staff members?
Well, so far, because we try to keep it as community as possible, I want to create work for the teachers from the community, so I do pay them. But if there's people that want to volunteer, I will always say yes if they come with the right attitude and they are, part of they get the vision, yeah. So volunteers are welcome.
Okay, we're hearing the story of amazing equipment, of bringing in instruments, helping these kids. We're not taking them out of the bands,
Out of the gangs.
We're just teaching them a skill. Am I right?
So there's the 2 levels. We work with the gangs directly. The gangs that we've worked with, for instance, for 5 months at a time, we had, in the first gang, 5 members leave the gang because they take the back door, And the murder rate has dropped. In the 26s, we had 1 kid that left. He's back in school. It was a miracle story partnering with other NGO. So there are some success stories of them leaving, but the 10 to 12-year-olds, we're literally making a new role model. I mean, there's about 30 kids that come to our classes every afternoon. So this is the feeding. They feed into the system, and we're stopping that. So I believe it's going to work. Yeah.
Okay, last question.
Small community.
Seeing that you left your dream to be a musician, to do this, your commitment for the future?
Definitely the next 3 years, I just see myself, being like a sociologist or whatever. I don't know what you call it. What do you call that person that Johnny Clegg was that went in, whatever. That person that is in the community. So we're going to discover I think that was the wrong word, but anthropologist.
Got it.
Okay, so we literally want to go discover what's the scene like out there in the Western Cape, what's happening in the small towns, what's happening in the gang situation. We're going to do it through the albums, and so it's going to be like a whole discovery. So no, I'm leaving my dream, but the Lord, it's the same dream. It's actually just, yeah. Okay. That was a very dear mekaar antwoord. I tried my best.
Karien de Waal, ladies
Thank
and
you very
gentlemen.
much.
Give her a hand and applause.
Okay.
Be sure to subscribe to the 21 by 21 TV YouTube channel for more videos like these. Thank you for watching.